My name is Rachel, and I was born on November 1st, 2000. I was born like on a millennium, which is like pretty cool. Like my whole generation was. And the thing that's like so interesting about like the day that I was born is it's like the day after Halloween, but it's also Dia de los Muertos, which is like kind of ironic because I was born on like the Day of the Dead. So that's kind of weird. I didn't know that until like 5 years ago, I think, when my friend who's from Mexico, she's like, yeah, your birthday's on like the Day of the Dead. And I was like, oh, that's fun that I was born on that day. But anyways, I'm going to start talking about my grandparents. So I didn't have a super great relationship with my mom's dad and then my dad's dad. They weren't good people. They tell me like my whole life that like I'm glad you never met either of them because they just like weren't that great. But my grandma was from Germany. She actually lived through the war. She tells me so many stories about like the bombings and just like she had to hide and like food and just everything like that. It sounds so scary, but I think it's good to like involve her in the story because if she never met my grandfather, she would never move to the States, and you know my mom would have never met my dad and everything. So I found that super interesting. My parents met at Tower Records, which isn't a records place anymore. It's like a Halloween store. I recently went there and I saw it, but it still says Tower on the big like building on the top. And the funny thing is my mom was looking at the CDs and she was getting a CD for my grandma's birthday and she likes classical music. And my dad kind of was like looking at something else and he came over and was about to talk to her and he saw that she was like looking at classical music and the first thing that he said was, "You listen to that stuff?" And my mom was like, yeah. So it was kind of funny how they met. She wasn't they weren't like super interested in each other. They just like went on a couple of dates, but she found that he was super loving and caring, so that's how they met and they got married. And my grandma made her wedding dress and everything. It was super fun. So on to me and my sister. My sister was the firstborn. She's 3 years older than me. I feel bad for my parents because she's crazy. I'm a little bit more calm than she is, but she was born 6 weeks early. So when my mom went into pre-labor with me, she was kind of nervous, kind of scared because she thought that might happen again since my sister was high risk. She was kind of scared of that. But I was born, she said I was like, she never lets me forget this, she said I was like super painful because I was like face up, I guess, which is like more impactful on their tailbone or whatever, and she was a nurse, so she kind of had like friends around her, kind of like, you know, teasing her and stuff about that. What else am I gonna say? So I was born, I had a super happy childhood. My dad and my mom were super loving, super caring. I have 2 other cousins, and they're both girls, so I'm the youngest girl out of all of us, and my last name's Curly, so we call ourselves the Curly Girls. And my 2 other cousins are already married, so they're not Curly Girls anymore, but we still like to have that community. So thank you for listening to the story.
Good job.